So today we're starting 9.5, finding unknown measures. The learning goal is I can use facts about angle relationships to find unknown angle measures. So before we get started, I want you to do the warm-up. You're going to do this on your own, and then you will check your answers with mine. So first, find the circumference. And remember the circumference we use C equals diameter times pi, or C equals radius 2 times pi. And then for area, remember area equals pi times r squared, which is the same thing as pi times r times r. So complete these and then check yours with mine. Number 1, they gave you the diameter, so we're going to use diameter times pi, so 26 times 3.14, which gives us 81.64, and this is in meters. So we do meters squared. Oops, not squared, sorry, just meters. For number 2, we have the radius, so we're going to do 2 times the radius, so 2 times 6 times 3.14, and so that gives us 37.68. So this was times 3. And this is in feet. For number 1 of the area problems, we have the diameter, and we can't use the diameter because we only have an r over here. And so we need to find r, so we do our diameter divided by 2, and that's 17.5. So we're going to do 3.14 times 17.5 times 17.5, and we get 961.625. And this is in inches squared. Number 2, we have the radius, so we're just going to use that. So we have 3.14 times 2.5 times 2.5. Remember, this little floating 2 here means we just multiply it twice. And we get 19.625, and that's in meters squared. All right, so before we start the lesson, we need to know some vocab. So first, we need to know what an adjacent angle is. So 2 angles share a common side and have the same vertex. So what that means is if I have 2 lines here, my vertex is the point of intersection. So this here, that dot is the vertex. And then the sides, if they share 2 sides, that means that this angle here and then this angle in blue, where they overlap, that's our adjacent angle because they both share this side. So they share this side right here. So that's an adjacent angle. For a complementary angle, these are 2 angles that add up to 90 degrees. So this is a 90-degree angle here because that little box tells us. And so these 2 angles, so this angle here, this angle here, plus this blue angle here, adds up to equal this box. So this whole little section plus that green little section adds up to that box. And so those 2 angles are complementary angles. Supplementary angles are when they add up to be 180 degrees. So it could look something like this, where this angle in green and then this angle in blue add up to be a straight line. So when we add those together. So what that means is from here to here, and then from here to here ends up being 180 degrees. Vertical angles are 2 angles that are opposite from each other, formed by an intersection. So here's our intersection, also known as our vertex. And so this angle here is vertical from this angle here. So here, this angle and this angle are vertical angles, and they also have the same measurement. So if this is 70 degrees, then that means that this is also 70 degrees. The way that I remember it, complementary, if I turn this into a 9 and a 0, it gives me that complementary. and then supplementary adds up to 180. And so if I turn this into an 8 and a 0, so that's kind of how I remember the angles. Vertical angles, vertical means that they're going to be each other. All right, so example 1. So name a pair of adjacent angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, and vertical angles. So first we have A, and it says that ABC and ABF are common, share a common side, and they have the same vertex. So what we're looking at is ABC. So we start at A, we go to B, and then we go to C. So it's talking about this angle right here. And then it said that ABF. So now we're going to start at A. I'm going to switch colors. ABF. So this angle here. They share a common side and have the same vertex. So common side and same vertex. So that means that these are going to be, according to our definitions up top, share a common side and have the same vertex. These are adjacent angles. So I'm going to erase this, that way we can kind of see them all together. So EBC, so EBC and EBD, EBD. So hopefully that would switch colors, but I guess I didn't want to. Have a measure of a sum of 90 degrees. So we saw that little box here, so that told us that that was 90 degrees, and so this angle plus this angle gave us 90 degrees. So these are complementary. So ABC, so we have ABC again, and DBC. They have a measure of 180 degrees. So that means that this angle here plus this angle here gives me this straight line here. And so that means that these are supplementary. So ABF. So I'm going to start at A, go to B, and then go to F. And CBD are opposite angles formed by an intersection of two lines. And we have opposite formed by an intersection. And so these are vertical. I'm going to skip this. But just know that whenever you write an angle, our vertex is always in the middle. So that's why B was in the middle of all of our angles. And then you just write it as if you follow the path. So from like P, J, M, that's one path. And so that would be angle PJM. And then is adjacent to, so shares a wall with PJQ. So that's how we write angles. All right, so now we're going to solve. So we know that these two are across from each other. So they're across from each other. So that means that this is a vertical angle. And remember, vertical angles are equal. So if this side is 70, so that means that this side is also 70 degrees. So now we see this little box. So we know that it's going to equal 90 degrees. And so that means that these are complementary. And now we have to solve for x. So we know that it's going to equal 90 degrees. And so this angle here is 31 plus this angle here, which is x plus 4. And now we're going to solve. So this is just like what we used to do. So we're going to draw that line. And now I'm adding 4, so we subtract 4 from both sides. And we get 86 equals 31 plus x. I'm adding 31, so we subtract 31 from both sides. And we get 55 equals x. So x equals 55. So this isn't saying the angle, it's saying that 31 plus this angle gives us 90. So we need to figure out what this one is. All right, example 2. So this is a straight line here. And so we know a straight line equals 180. So that means that those are supplementary angles. And now we're going to solve for what x equals. So x is this. So we know that this angle x plus this angle, which is x minus 4, is going to equal 180 degrees. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. And 184 equals 2x. Now I'm going to divide by 2. I got 2x because there's 2 x's here. Divide by 2 on both sides. So we get x equals 92. So x is 92. All right, so you're going to try these 3 on your own and then check your answers with mine. So this is a straight line, and so that means that it's going to equal 180 degrees. So 85, so to get from here to here is 85, and then to keep going to get back to that line is x. So 85 plus x equals 180. We subtract 85 from both sides, and we get 95 equals x. On number 3, these are vertical angles, so even though it's not on top, it's okay. They're still across from each other, and they share this vertex right here. And so that means that if this is 90 and that box tells us that it is, then across from it is also 90. Number 4 gives us that little box, which is 90 degrees. And so 2x minus 3 is this angle, plus x, which is this angle, gives us this whole angle in here. And so I circled my 2 x's, so I added those together. 2 plus 1 is 3. And so now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And so I get 93 equals 3x. Divide by 3 on both sides to cancel these out. And I get x equals 31. Alright, so now we're going to find the angle measure of something that looks like this. It's a little bit more complex. So first we need to solve for x. So this here is a straight line. And so we have 4x. So from here to here, it's like if you're spinning. How would you measure if you're spinning? So from here to here, I spun 4x. And then I'm going to keep spinning around. And I have plus 8x plus 12 equals 180. I'm going to combine like terms. So these both have an x. So 8 plus 4 is 12x plus 12 equals 180. Subtract 12 from both sides is 168, which equals 12x because we just bring this down. Now I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. So that way these cancel. And x equals 14. So now what I know is when I spin all the way around, that's spinning from here to here, which is 180 degrees, plus from here to here, which is another 180 degrees. So that gives us 360 degrees total. And I also know that I'm solving to figure out what this angle is. I know that this angle here is 90, so now I just need to figure out, well, what is this one? So 8 times 14 plus 12 equals 104. And then I'm going to do 360. Oops. 360 minus 90 minus 124. And that's going to give me 146. So angle EAB equals 146 degrees. The whole, so all the way around is 360. And we subtracted the part in green. And that left us this part right here. angle here.